Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a tool that is absolutely critical in high-conflict family court cases, the police report. Seriously, knowing when and, maybe more importantly, how to use one can be a complete game changer. Okay, so let's just dive right in because this really is the central question, isn't it? If you make the right call, you can protect yourself and create a vital record. But if you make the wrong one, whoa, you can do some serious damage to your own credibility with the very judge you're trying to convince. You really have to think of a police report as a double-edged sword. On one side, it creates this powerful, time-stamped third-party account of what happened. That is so much stronger than just a he said, she said argument. But, and this is a big but, it can totally backfire if the judge thinks you're just being tactical, if your complaint is kind of vague, or if it just blows up a conflict that really should have been handled another way.
So here it is, the most important thing to remember. You have to match the right tool to the right problem. It's that simple. Police, they're for crime and immediate safety, full stop. Family court, that's for dealing with custody orders, schedules, and all those civil parenting disputes. When you mix those two up, that's exactly where the trouble starts.
So let's see how this idea builds out into a really simple but honestly super powerful framework you can use to make a decision even when you're feeling a ton of pressure. We're going to call it the two-track system. Now take a look at this because it lays it all out so clearly. Think of it as two separate lanes on a highway. The police track, over on the left, that's for the urgent stuff, the safety-critical issues. We're talking violence, stalking, a parent driving drunk with a kid in the car. Then you have the family court track on the right. This is for the civil stuff, like they're always late, you're arguing over some vague wording in the order, or just that ongoing friction. The whole game is figuring out which track your problem is actually on. Okay, so knowing the two tracks is one thing, but what does this stuff actually look like in the real world? Let's get practical here and check out what really separates a report that helps you from one that, well, totally hurts you. Oh man, this is such a classic example of what not to do. Why is this so bad for your case? Because it's packed with armchair psychology, speculation, and you're jumping to huge legal conclusions like kidnapping. A judge sees that kind of language, and it can instantly make you seem overly emotional and, frankly, unreliable. Now compare that to this. The difference is just night and day, right? This statement is calm, it's precise, and it's 100% factual. It doesn't guess motives, it doesn't use inflammatory labels, it just states what happened. And that is exactly what a court wants to see. So before you even think about picking up that phone, just take a breath and look at this checklist. Does your situation really line up with the column on the left? Is there real, immediate danger, a clear crime, objective proof? Or, if you're being totally honest with yourself, does it fall more into that column on the right? Is this more about trying to get some leverage or just documenting low-level drama? Being real with yourself right here is so key. Okay, so we've covered when it might be a good idea to file a report. Now we've got to talk about the equally important part, how you do it effectively. Because the goal here is to report in a way that makes your position stronger, not weaker. This four-step framework is your best friend. The big idea here is simple. Write it like a camera saw it. Think about it. A camera doesn't guess, it doesn't speculate, it just records. It captures who was there, what happened, and what was said. This method forces you to strip out all the emotion and just focus on the objective, provable facts, which is precisely what makes a police report a rock-solid piece of evidence in court. All right. Let's wrap this up by boiling everything we've talked about down to one single, absolutely crucial takeaway. It's a simple concept, but it's amazing how often people forget it in a heated moment. Remember this number, 1, because one single, strong, fact-based, and totally appropriate police report is a million times more powerful in family court than 10 weak, emotional, or tactical ones. In fact, a pattern of weak reports can actually start to create a really negative story about you. You know, this is what it all comes down to. Your credibility is the most valuable thing you have in court, so you have to protect it. It's not about papering the record with a ton of reports. It's about being strategic and creating a clear, factual document only when the situation truly calls for it. So the next time you're in a tough spot and facing this decision, I want you to just pause and ask yourself this one question. Is this a problem for a badge or is this a problem for a judge? Answering that question with a clear head, that is what will guide you to the decision that actually helps your case instead of hurting it.